think Americans love outlaws. Well, they love outlaws. They've always loved outlaws. They always will. There's a soft spot in our heart for the bad guys.
Hold it.
I have a part of my personality that loves outlaws and outsiders and anti-heroes, and I truly have a problem with authority. And any chance I can get to belittle authority, I love to do it. You know, I just can't help myself.
We both had a conversation one time, I remember, about no man being an island. We both vehemently disagree with that. We believe that some men are islands. Some men prefer to be islands. I know that a large part of John and I are like that. Snake Plissken is that island.
Bob Ramey at FCOMC Pictures asked me to make a movie of a book called The Philadelphia Experiment. And I said, well, I have this script in my trunk I've had since 1973 or 4 called Escape from New York. So I let him read that, and he said, sure, let's do it.
He had written a first draft, but he felt it needed a lot of work, and asked me if I would come on to help him kind of get his juices flowing and start thinking creatively about how to take which was a very good idea and make it a solid screenplay.
He brought all the humor.
About an hour ago, a small jet went down inside New York City. The president was on board.
President of what?
That's not funny, Plissken.
All the kind of humorous exchanges Nick and I worked on together, he brought that kind of spark to it.
This stuff is like gold around here, you know. Oh, Snake Plissken in my cab? Wait till I tell Eddie.
I think Snake Plissken represents the other side of America, the unpatriotic, patriotic side of America, the kind of character that we all want to be but are afraid to be. He's a guy who doesn't want to be told what to do. He's an anti-hero, and I think that's what makes America love him so much.
I think probably I made everybody corrupt in this world, every single person corrupt in this world, made it, and it's an entirely a nihilistic corruption blanket of this future. And Snake Plissken is really the only man with honor because he doesn't care about anybody.
What did you do to me, asshole?
My idea, Plissken.
Snake is a great character because I believe in him. I think that he's one of those what-if characters. What if you could be like Snake Plissken? You'd love to kick ass like that. You'd love to just not have a care other than for yourself and the world.
Working with Kurt is always a dream. You know, we worked together on Elvis for the first time, and we love working with each other. We have a great time.
Kurt Russell is Snake Plissken as much as John Carpenter is Snake Plissken. I mean, there are two sides of Snake Plissken, and that's John and Kurt, and they're very, very connected.
At that time, I was saying I'd like to do a futuristic action, sort of semi-action movie that's got a great character in it.
That's why he continues to love the character. He says it's the most favorite character that he's ever played.
Ultimately, he's my favorite character because I think he's the most complex.
I'd say you'd be dead in 10 or 15 seconds.
Come out now.
He's a fantasy character. He does things that are fantasy. They're not things that you and I are going to do in our life or we shouldn't do in our life. When we just want to kill somebody, we shouldn't do that. The world would be a very bad place to live in. But he lives in a fantasy world. He lives in a world where if you don't have that attitude, you're going to go. So he has no question about what he has to do.
When I get back, I'm gonna kill you.
The Gulf Fire's waiting.
Associate producer on the film, Peggy Brotman, had been a casting director, and she said, you know who hasn't been seen in a long time is Lee Van Cleef. And how cool was he back in the old days, and how cool was he in the spaghetti westerns. And so I met with him, and he was cool. I mean, he is Lee.
I'm not a fool, Plissken.
Call me Snake.
Lee Van Cleef, to me, was the balancing act that made the movie work for me. I thought that he had its perfect amount of mirth and seriousness. If ever I had any confusion, I could just think of Lee Van Cleef and I wouldn't have it anymore. And Snake Plissken desperately needed that character in the movie to work.
I'm ready to kick your ass out of the world, war hero.
We had an ensemble cast. They were all, again, archetypes of the kinds of people that would be successful